And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are here. I am Hill Harrison, along with the incomparable, the outspoken, the charismatic Tom King. We are here for Wrestling with Marks, the Tom and Harrison podcast. This is the first time you're seeing me. My name is Hill Harrison. I'm a professional wrestling content creator over on TikTok. Make sure you guys are following, liking, and sharing. My friend Tom King over here, also over on TikTok. Please make sure you're following and make sure we follow this podcast. This is our very first episode. Tom, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been a fantastic morning, and just woke up and decided to film our very first episode of this podcast, and we are.
And I just happen to be here. Yeah, and look at that. I happen to be here with you, so.
And there's a lot that we have to discuss. One of them being AAA pulling off one of the best pay-per-views of all time, possibly beating WWE pay-per-view.
And you know what? Here's the thing, Tom, is my first initial comment, and this is kind of not so much off topic, but if you'd have told me in 97 or 98 that the guy who dresses like Satan walking would have booked pretty well so far, arguably, or the second longest tenured Mexican wrestling company of all time, I would have said you're crazy.
Absolutely.
He's doing a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. You know, it's because the man has been in the business for over 40 plus years. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And I think he debuted in AWA alongside Paulie Dangerous way back in the mid 80s.
Yep.
I mean,
well, and you still got Michael Hayes. I mean, God bless him.
Yeah, of course.
I love Michael Hayes. Crazy. Michael Hayes, if you're somehow watching this, crazy old loon, I love you. Big fan of yours.
Hey, dude, I'm a big a guilty pleasure of mine. Here's a quick note for me, just so you guys and you can get to know me too as well. I'm a big Freebird mark.
Okay.
I'm a big Freebird mark. In fact, arguably my guiltiest pleasure in wrestling is any 80s Michael Hayes running down to the ring with that hair, running down to Bad Street, USA. I love it.
You can't beat it.
The swagger. The
swaggers. He's got the swagger, man. He had the swagger also, back in the day.
I'm a big Terry Gordy fan.
Okay.
Love Terry Gordy.
Terry Gordy is incredible.
Oh, yeah. So
the topic of matter, AAA being probably the best pay-per-view I have seen in a very long time.
Absolutely.
What storytelling? And they do it better. I hate to say it. But that is not the topic of this episode.
No.
The topic of this episode is King of the Ring and Queen.
Yes.
But let's talk about King of the Ring. Let's talk about Raw just as a whole last night. Not last night, but Monday night.
Yeah.
You have Roman coming out.
Yes.
You know, they do the whole backstage segment, then him arriving to the arena, walking down. But the ovation that Italy crowd gave him, goosebumps, man. Just goosebumps.
And here's the thing, Tom, and this goes for anybody else out there too. Are we surprised? Now, what I mean by that is, as soon as Roman came out, the one's up, I immediately went, you know what? If the WWE never came back to the United States, I wouldn't have an issue. You want to know why? The international crowds just serenade everybody.
Absolutely.
Amazing crowd. Keep it international. Honestly,
I agree.
They, as an American, as a person, as we who live here in the United States of America, I'm sorry, those international crowds embarrass us.
Absolutely,
they
absolutely.
Just, I'm sorry.
Man. And
you got good crowds here in the United States. You do, but international crowds top it.
But international crowds are just insanely loud and energetic.
I'll put them over any day.
Absolutely. Yeah. But let's talk about Fatu.
Yes.
Did Roman, in fact, neuter the werewolf? In my opinion, no.
No, he didn't. Now, again, I use that word neuter, to jot down in our, I put that in your mind. Again, because I hope everybody sees the correlation here. It's, a male animal, and it's very tribalistic island mentality. You're going to submit to me. And we've seen Jacob get down on the knee. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, and they embrace. And you don't understand it now, Jacob, but I love you.
Right.
Here's my thought, Tom. And someone please explain this to me. It seems as if he's been just clipped. And I hope that's not the case, because an unhinged werewolf, to me, I'm not going to say he lost aura, but I don't understand that the guy who they looked like they were building and who reportedly Roman wanted to put over, is it going to happen later down the line? When will this happen?
The fact that, he's now, officially the bloodline is back. Let's just say that is the case. My problem is with how long can you really go with the bloodline? I mean, before they start breaking off. I mean, you got Jay and Jimmy, and they're one of the greatest tag teams I've seen in a very long time. They're a great tag team. They're an amazing tag team. But as a singles, they're not championship worthy. Not world championship worthy anyway. And you have Fatu, who's more than ready, who's been being built like Umaga in a way.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, as much as I like Zilla, a friend of mine brought up a point to me that adding Zilla could just be like adding another Samoan to the mix.
Well, yes, but then I would just say, okay, and well, yeah, it's a point. I agree with that point, but then I would have to ask, okay, is that presented in a negative connotation, a positive connotation? Because obviously, it's a Samoan, he'd be added to the mix. Do you mean it like, oh man, here's another Samoan, or is it, oh man, another Samoan? Like, in what context?
Well, there's a division with Zilla, man. A lot of people find him entertaining, like me. I find him entertaining, and a lot of other people don't.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see that he stole the Superman punch from Roman and just added a spike. He doesn't spark anything original, He doesn't. And I'm afraid what might be the case is it's like, oh, here we go, another Samoan to the mix. And I don't want that to happen, but it might be the case because Fatu is, more over than anything right now.
Yeah. And again, with the line, Jacob, you don't understand this now,
but I love you.
Now, but I love you.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Exactly.
Now, of course, we could probably refer to past booking and go, okay, we have an idea of what that means. But for some reason, here's my bottom line with this. I don't like it. And I don't know why, but I don't like it.
Right.
I hope that now, to your credit, you did also tell me, again, this is off camera, but you did say you planted a little seed in my head with this because I was asking you to explain this to me. And you said, quote, he might have something up his sleeve.
And I still to this day believe he has something underneath his sleeve. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think the man's going to turn on Roman because it wasn't Roman that brought him in. It was Solo that brought him in. So who does Jacob really love? Roman?
Fair point.
Or Solo?
Fair point. Now, and again, this is not to push back, but this is also a thinking point. In a recent promo, I think it was Roman who said, but who do you think brought Solo in? And I was like, yeah, and I hate to say that.
He's right. Like, Roman's right. Roman did in fact bring Solo in.
Yeah.
But it was Solo that brought Jacob Fatu in.
That is true.
So the question is, when Roman says, I love you, what does he mean by I love you? I love you because you're in line now?
Yeah.
Or I love you because you're a family member?
Yeah. And
I'm going to treat you and give you the dinner on your kid's plate?
Yeah.
Because now I have the power to take the food off the table.
Yeah. And it bothered. I'm kind of eager to see what the story is going to look like. We have to wait for the next episode of Raw to have any, in my mind. Maybe I missed it. Maybe we could have all the telltale signs in this episode, in this segment, and maybe I missed it and I haven't been watching wrestling long enough. I don't think that's the case. So we'll wait for the next episode of Raw to kind of see what they're doing here with this story. Like,
my thing is, are they going to have Fatu lash out like the Umaga he is supposed to be? And I compare him, and I don't mean to compare him to Umaga.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to in a way because the way they're building him.
In a way. Yeah.
He was the Samoan bulldozer. Fatu is the Samoan werewolf.
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah. But I do have to ask this question. Can they bring any Samoan in? And again, someone explain this to me. I'm open to ideas. I'm open to explanation. Can they bring any Samoan in without them just getting stuck in a bloodline? Can they just stay on their own? Does it have to be some family orientated?
Right.
I'm like,
I can take that question and I can add, look what happened to Jay when he went on his own.
Yeah.
He had the title for what? A couple of months?
Yeah.
And they took him off. You know why they took it off him? Because he calls himself main event, but he's not a main eventer. He's a mid-carder and a tag team division. And unfortunately, that's where he's going to stay. Roman is the main eventer. Always was, always will be. But now you have Fatu. I think it's going to be Fatu, Oba, and eventually Braun Breaker. They're going to be the faces of the WWE pretty soon.
You could definitely say that, 100%. We could definitely say that.
It's going to be those three.
Yeah, so you know what, man? When it comes to Fatu, my bottom line is this. I'm hoping that something comes about. And at the end of the day, a small part of me, or maybe a big part of me, does hope that Jacob ends up becoming world heavyweight champion someday.
Without a doubt.
So.
It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon. If not now, soon.
Yeah. So.
Next point being, let's talk about Oba, man. Oba Femi, the ruler.
Arguably the most talked about guy right now.
Arguably. I think he is the most talked about guy at the moment. Because everybody that I know can't shut up about him. Including myself.
Yeah.
Now, this is just a prediction.
Yeah.
I believe that Oba is going to win it all the way through.
Okay.
Because he's Oba Femi. And somehow, Brock is going to cost him the King of the Ring. And he's going to challenge Brock to a retirement stipulation match. And he's going to retire. And he's going to challenge Brock to a retirement stipulation match. Okay. Brock's going to accept, or Paul Heyman's going to accept on Brock's behalf.
Okay.
And we're going to have Brock Lesnar retire officially at SummerSlam at his hometown in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I love that.
Because if you think about it,
I love it.
Brock Lesnar was not a WrestleMania guy. He was a SummerSlam guy. He was always a SummerSlam guy. He had his WrestleMania moments, sure. But a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, a brother, love you, dude. If you're watching this, you know who you are. He brought up a really good point to me last night. That Brock was not, he had his WrestleMania moments, but he was more of a SummerSlam guy anyway. So it makes sense for him to retire at SummerSlam, not WrestleMania.
Okay.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he not debut at a SummerSlam to begin with?
No. So he officially debuted. It was a hardcore match with Maven and I believe Spike Dudley. Someone correct me in the comments on an episode of WWF Raw in 2001.
Okay.
The SummerSlam you're thinking of, not to correct you, but this is here it is, was the big SummerSlam match was Rock versus Brock, where Rock puts Brock over.
Yes.
That's the big match.
So if you take that in reality, Brock was a SummerSlam guy. He was a SummerSlam main eventer. So It makes sense for him to retire at SummerSlam, and not only that, have him retire at his hometown.
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
So
have him become the biggest thing that ever happened in 01, and then have him retire in 26 at the place that he got over against The Rock.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me, man.
So again, now Oba Femi, when it comes to the King of the Ring, again, Italy just chanting.
On fire.
Just on fire for this guy. Now, Oba Femi walks into this King of the Ring tournament off of an ass whooping, as he puts it, from Brock Lesnar, right? Now, a lot of people, there's some chitter chatter online. Oh man, I can see it clear as day that Brock Lesnar is going to interfere and cost Oba Femi. And I thought to myself, why? Because Brock doesn't have anything to prove to Oba. I don't think he's going to rub it in Oba's face. Now, that's the first point. The second point being, you've got Oba Femi, Solo Sikoa, Carmelo Hayes, and who else in this match? Penta, our Intercontinental Champion. Okay. Solo,
all
Penta,
three
Hayes.
of them went after him, and he
just
pummeled them, and then still did his entrance. He is not buried, people.
Did the whole.
It took seven F5s to put that man down. Most people don't even get up after one, let alone two.
Yeah.
He is not buried. So anybody that's saying that he's buried, I'm sorry. This is where I become unleashed. You're wrong. You are wrong.
No, yeah, you're wrong. Now, like I said, he comes into this match off of an ass whooping off of Brock Lesnar, okay? Hurt arm, his arm is injured, but he beats three of the best, arguably the best talent, Penta, Solo, Hayes, in a match for the first round King of the Ring. Now, here's my point. I think for the King of the Ring tournament, because there was no shenanigans with Brock, and it was cut and dry, again, beating three of the top talent, you could argue, in this tournament, it was just right down the middle. And it set the tone for the next first round tournaments. So, for example, when we get there, I think that who you think is probably going to win, probably is going to win. Now, I say that because, it's fun to just talk, okay, maybe that guy might win that match, that guy might win that match. But for me, the Oba Femi win went, okay, the rest of the tournament's going to follow suit. And who you think is going to win the match is probably going to win because this one was cut and dry. Your thoughts?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was cut and dry,
but it is cut and dry. We all know who's going to win this King of the Ring.
Yeah.
We all know who's going to win it. But
it's Oba.
It's Oba. But I believe we're going to end up getting Trick Rollins and then Rollins Oba. And that's what and that's when, Brock costs the match. Because remember, Brock also has history with Rollins. So it would make sense if Brock interferes, F5's Rollins, tries to F5 Oba Femi. Oba Femi counters, gives him the slam, and does this over his body. And we cut Raw. Still showing that he is still dominant over the humbled beast. Because let's be honest, the reason why Brock is doing this is not because he's embarrassed. It's because he got
humbled. And over his entire career, no one was able to humble him like Obafemi did. Sure, you had the American Badass do it in Hell in a Cell, but nothing compared what Oba did to him at WrestleMania. He made Brock Lesnar second guess himself.
I like how
he humbled him.
I like how
he humbled him.
I like how you use a super old reference from 2002. I like that. I appreciate that.
And if anything, Brock Lesnar does not and will not stand being humbled by Obafemi, and that is why he's going after Oba again.
Okay.
That is why he did it, because he felt humbled and got an ass kicking like he's never gotten before, got embarrassed, threw up the X's, said I was done, went back home, stared at the mirror and said, "This motherfucker," and came back the next night.
Yeah.
He even did a video saying that, yeah, you humbled me. You made me think retirement.
And here's the thing, man. You know, with the this is my quick comment on the Brock Lesnar retirement situation. You got a young kid in Obafemi, young, powerful, bigger than Brock.
Yeah.
In a sense, right?
Yeah.
I think that should have been the scene, because it was very Brock Lesnar-esque to just say, you know what? I not even because of storyline purposes, just because, you know what? It's in the moment. This is the same guy who almost knocked Kurt Hennig out of a plane and wrestled him at 40,000 feet. This is the same guy. This is the same guy, Brock Lesnar, who when he was called, I don't know if you ever heard the story, when he was called apparently to Wrestler's Court, he went, no.
And got away with it.
Not doing it.
And got away with it.
Now, it was very Brock-esque and very nice to see him in the ring, have a humble moment, the man Brock, at the grand stage of the mall, WrestleMania moment, to cry a little bit and retire. And hug Paul Heyman. That should have been it. So here's the kicker. Here comes back to Obafemi. Does this make Oba? It kind of stains Obafemi a tad. Not because he can't overcome Brock, but again, I think that moment right there would have been the pinnacle moment for Obafemi. There should be no Brock Lesnar right now. There should not be. That's my opinion. Now, are we going to get the trilogy? Sure. Yeah,
we're definitely going to get the trilogy.
We are. It's going to be in Minneapolis. It's going to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's going to retire Brock. But however, now when Brock Lesnar takes out the boots and cries, it's like you should have just done it. You'd already did that.
Okay.
It's not special anymore. It's not special for either.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
You know.
What if that retirement, the first retirement, was legit?
Okay.
And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, no sell it if you got to, Brock Lesnar has an ego.
I'm going to no-sell that.
Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants.
No, he does. That's my point. It was very Brock-esque.
Like I said, it could have been one of those things where he got his butt beat so bad where it humbled him in real life. And maybe second guess that maybe, I think I'm done. But we all know how Brock Lesnar is. He can't be psychological when he wants to be.
Fair point. I think that when it comes to the Brock Lesnar retirement, if it was legitimate, it was when Oba the very first time that Oba stepped into the ring with Brock and Brock looked at him. Go look at the look in Brock's eye. He looked at Oba like, you know what, this kid's special, and I'm going to put him over. I see the talent in Obafemi, this young kid, and you know what, I'm going to put him over.
I mean, there's clips of Brock doing the strut in the middle of the ring while he's waiting.
And you can no-sell this if you want. I think Brock Lesnar's an Obafemi guy.
He is. He's absolutely a Obafemi guy. Otherwise, why wouldn't he put over Obafemi? Brock Lesnar puts over people that he thinks personally is going to do good.
You could argue that.
And you can. Yeah, you can. And I think in this case, Obafemi is the new version of Brock Lesnar. He is the second version of Here Comes the Pain. He is the young Brock Lesnar. He is the young Brock Lesnar of this era. I'm not trying to compare because Obafemi is Obafemi. And Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But when you have no bread, no water, just meat, it draws in a fucking crowd. I don't know about you, but I love it when the matches are no bread, no water, and just meat going at it. And
I mean, my favorite type of meat is I love steak. So love steak. I love duck breast is great. So
it makes, at the end of the day, it makes sense.
Let's make a final comment on this and we'll move on.
Right.
Yeah.
So what makes sense is Brock Lesnar retiring, and he retires for good because he knows for sure that, okay, this guy did humble me and I need to it's time for me to leave.
Yeah. So Obafemi ends up going over in the King of the Ring tournament, and he moves on. He is the first person to move on in this tournament. Again, I think it's pretty clear. Oba's winning this thing. Your final thoughts on this segment?
Obviously, Oba is going to win.
Yeah.
Brock's going to cost him. Brock's going to retire. That's what's going to happen. And I'm sticking by it, and that's what's going to happen. If I'm wrong, my mind is going to be blown.
Okay.
But I don't see them dragging out a fourth match. No. It would make no sense.
No.
That's my final thought on that.
Okay. What do we have? What happened? The Sol Ruca segment, correct?
We got Sol Ruca. Now.
Okay, I'll let you. What do you think about the segment in general? Just her coming out, cutting a promo, bam, that's it in Italy with everybody's favorite ringing out analyst, Cathy Kelley.
I feel like she didn't get the pop that she wanted.
Yeah.
And here's the reason. She's, as an in-ring performer, deserves to wear that belt.
Oh, yeah.
As for cutting promos, she is drier than a slice of bread.
Okay.
She needs to practice on her mic skills, and that's just my opinion.
Sure.
That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think she just needs to go back and work on her promo skills and then come back.
Yeah. Okay.
And
again,
that she gave off was boring. I didn't lock in. I kind of just looked at my phone and I'm like, okay, she's talking about nonsense.
And again, I listened. I for the sake of the podcast, I had to listen. I had to understand what she said. The character said it's a basic, hey, I'm champion, fighting champion, white meat baby face.
Yep.
Champion. I'm gonna snatch your soul. I'm gonna take your soul. Which I was like, okay, all right. The snatching, when she says, and I hate to say this, but again, when she says, I'm going to snatch your soul, I kind of go, ugh. I don't know why. Now, let me add a little bit of nuance to this, just so no one thinks I'm a Sol Ruca just hater. Okay. In NXT, the last thing that the breakup story she did with Zarya, great.
Fantastic.
I thought for some reason, here's where I'm at with Sol. For some reason here on the main roster, I'm not connecting with her. In ring, she has the look, the charisma, the moveset, everything. Young kid that the WWE is probably going to say, you know what? This is the woman in our division. We're going to put the banner on your back and you're going to help carry the division for the next 15 years. Fine. But for right now, again, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because in NXT, I connected with her on the mic a little bit. Here, I don't know what it is.
I was lost.
I can't for some reason, and I hate that that's the case, but on the mic, I can't connect with her.
You know what it is? It's the fact that they gave her the whole, I'm the baby face, blah, blah, blah story. We've seen that how many times throughout the 40 years the WWE has been here?
Maybe the person
50.
is a little nervous.
I think she was nervous. She might have been a little nervous, but then again, how long has she been doing this in front of large crowds?
Well, how long has she been a pro wrestler?
Exactly my point.
I'm saying again.
I don't know. I'm not aware of that.
I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and go, hey, okay, she's just a kid. She's a little green here and there. She needs to work on that. It's fine. But yeah, it's like I'm not expecting the world of Sol Ruca. But again,
okay, but if I was creative, I wouldn't have gotten her go out there alone. I would have had somebody come out, and interact with her and give her somebody to feed off of.
Okay.
They didn't. They gave her an interviewer that again just asked her one blank question, and then basically said, "Let her rip."
But Cathy Kelley's great. I know. I'm kidding. I know. It's not what you're thinking. I know.
And it's they didn't really give her anything to feed off of.
Yeah.
If you can't listen with the WWE, if you're given shit and you cannot turn that pile of shit into lemonade, you're not gonna go far. And that's how it is now these days.
That's a whole podcast, brother.
They gave her shit and she made it boring. Sorry. It's what happened in that promo. Okay. Hate. I know I'm gonna have a lot of hate. I don't care. Bring it on. But that's just my opinion on the matter. It's not. Yeah, that's just.
So with Sol coming out, yeah, I think unfortunately we agree. And again, it's not that. And again, let me say this again, it's loud and clear. I do not dislike Sol Ruca. I like her. It's just the mic. I'm like,
right.
Now, when it comes to Becky Lynch, I want to kind of walk down memory lane here for a second, and it leads to Sol Ruca. Now, I know I'm sure Becky Hogan, Craig Great takes everybody's favorite bird lady, Lyra Valkyria, and has an absolute feud. Puts her over.
Right.
Fellow Irish girl. In fact, when you say a protege or a young girl that looks up to her in Lyra, takes Maxine Dupree, who was not really doing much, who was just the backstage babe or partner to Otis and our boy AT, puts her over as Intercontinental Champion, takes an AJ Lee. Now here's where everybody's going to go, Harrison, don't you dare. Yes, I'm an AJ Lee fan.
Don't do it.
Didn't put over AJ, but when as AJ brought back, it was a feud that we could sink our teeth into, and AJ ended up becoming Intercontinental Champion. Great. Then now we get to Sol Ruca, and Becky puts her over.
Right.
Becky Lynch putting over these talents, dude.
I mean, you got to give it to Becky Lynch. She's a company woman.
Yeah.
And she will put over talent.
Added pedigree to this title.
But you know what bothers me about Becky Lynch?
Go ahead.
Same thing with Sol Ruca. The promo skills. Sometimes her promo, it's like, what are you talking about? Or you're dragging this too on. Just get to the point, sweetheart.
For example, some of the AJ Lee,
Same thing with AJ
example,
Lee sometimes.
The AJ Lee promos, some of the ones they had were really good. And then other ones, I was like, you need to just zip.
Right. AJ had that problem too. AJ has that problem too.
It was a little cringy.
And it's like, I don't know what it is about me with Becky Lynch's promos, but to me, they're always cringe, man. It's like, get to the point.
Now, I think about every Becky Lynch promo that I've ever heard. I try, her whole career from NXT to now. Again, Becky's one of those people in my mind in the wrestling world. I'm sure if someone can comment who's a big Becky Lynch fan, please explain what good promos.
If you're a huge Becky Lynch fan, please let us know.
Personally, I can go, hey, okay, well, that promo on that day was good, and that promo on that feud was good. I can pick good promos she's had. In general, though, I'm like, not my favorite promo. But not awful, just not my favorite. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can, it's fair, but you could also say that with Stratton too. She had some bangers, and then she had some misses.
No, that's a whole podcast.
I think the women division alone has that problem, but again, we're going to save that for a whole nother video, a whole nother episode. There's more to come, folks. This is just the very first episode, by the way. Yeah. Thank you.
Did you have any other notes right there?
I do.
On this segment.
Well, there's something I do want to talk about, man. Lash Legend. What a phenomenal woman. Phenomenal entertainer. Phenomenal wrestler. But she needs a new finisher, man. It doesn't fit her character. It doesn't fit. She's a big, strong woman. Give her finisher that she had in NXT, that massive choke slam. That was perfect for her. 100% perfect for her. Why did she move on to something that doesn't really fit her? It's not that it's hard to do. It's just it just doesn't fit her size. I think she should go back to using that choke slam.
Okay. Now, before we let me stay on the topic of Lash Legend. Okay. It doesn't, the way that she, in my mind, when I see this finishing move play out, I go, that doesn't look like a quote lash extension.
Right.
Now, goodness gracious, I went, Lash Legend makes everybody else in the ring look like this big.
Yeah.
She's a big girl. Okay. I mean, every week when she stands next to Nia Jax, I go, is she bigger than Nia Jax? She is. She's tall, big girl.
Tall.
Now, I mention that because I go, you know what? When she does the lash extension, something like that, I'm like, she has the legs, she has the muscle, she has the build to do something a little more.
Exactly, more impact.
That fits her. Now, a choke slam, okay, something slamming. If we're thinking lash extension, when I think of extension I think of something pulley.
Right.
Pulley into a flat,
have her pull her opponent into
or something.
Right. Have her pull her opponent into like a choke slam like hold, and then just give her this.
Something like
that would be fine.
Almost like maybe a Baron Corbin-esque powerhouse.
Right.
Baron Corbin, the end of days, that pulling and the boom.
Baron Corbin. Let's not get started on Baron Corbin.
I know. Sorry about that. No sell it. No sell
on that one, but
okay. All right. So now but by the way, dude, what a star Lash Legend looks and is.
Absolutely.
One of the young people, again, like a Sol Ruca, that is going to WWE is going to depend on her to carry the women's division for the next few years, for sure. Now, we're in Italy again. In this King of the Ring tournament, we have Lash, Julia, Roxy, and Io. Okay, any one of these women, I would have been fine with. Of course, Io goes over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have Julia in Italy, who, by the way, if no one knows this, she's of course Japanese. She's also half Italian. In fact, she posted on her social media account that, hey, I'm glad to be back in Italy. It's been 22 years since I've been back in Italy. I was a young kid when I was in Italy, and now I'm back as an adult.
I'm so glad that she listened to Nash,
I'm talking about Julia.
Are you talking about Julia? I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Raquel.
And so when Julia, as a Julia fan,
You have her lose in her home country.
Following her from Stardom to NXT to knowing what this woman is capable of, and she takes. You don't have her on really booked much to do much, and then when you do bring her back with the new look, by the way, which everybody was talking about, you then have her take the pin in Italy after Italy serenaded this woman.
Yeah, why on earth would you
Just
have
for her?
I don't see this is what sometimes I don't understand with WWE and TKO as a whole. They need to butt out and let Hunter do what Hunter needs to do, which is cook while the kettle is hot. You know, I don't understand why they have her not go over at her home country in Italy, because it would have made more sense for her to go over her home country.
Now, hold that thought. Just before we started this podcast, just before we got on the air, for everybody, just so we can know, I sent Tom a video clip. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure everybody out there, I'm sure you've heard of a gentleman on YouTube named Mr. Santizap. Okay, I follow him over on X, and as you know, if anybody's a longtime follower of him, every Monday and every Friday he posts, "Hey, wrestling."
Shout out to him, by the way. We're not talking bad. Shout out to him. We're not talking bad about him. Shout out to him. No,
absolutely. Mr. Santizap is great. Of course, if you're a longtime follower of his, so he posts his wrestling hot take response. So I write into him, and he picked it this morning. Go watch that video. You'll see my tag up there. And I said, quote, I put a picture of Julia and I said, you can see the emotion in her eyes. And then they do this to her and they have her take the pin. I'm heartbroken. And Mr. Santizap's reply was, brother, and you know, I'm getting not being a douche, but he said, brother, as a Julia fan myself, I come to this realization, and it hurts my heart too. But brother, WWE doesn't give a drizzling shit about her being in Italy.
Absolutely.
So you should have seen it coming. You should. So he told me you should have seen it coming. And I was like, you know what?
It sucks. It sucks, yeah. But that's the reality of it, man. We should have saw it coming because we all know that.
Mr. Santizap usually kind of brings me back down to earth on my
right.
He brings me. He's like, you know what, dude? I agree, but you should have seen it coming.
Right, right. And you know that's the one thing about TKO and the WWE, and even Vince McMahon. They never cared about what we wanted, but for some odd reason, we always come back for more.
Yep.
They just know how to do that, and that's their machine. And that's the machine. That's the machine of the WWE, man.
And a lot of people are going to agree with what you just said.
A lot, and there's going to be some people that will curse me out.
Yeah.
But hey, listen.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching the WWE for well over 30 years, and I'm 33, so I started around the age of 3.
Okay.
Legitly. You know, I would be in my high chair, eating my food, watching the TV while Monday Night Raw was playing or something like that. You know, and I'm not exaggerating. And one thing I've noticed as I gotten older.
So you're 30. You say you're 33. What year were you born? What year were you born in?
1993.
Okay, so at 3 years old. Okay, so let's let rough estimation 97. That was some good TV. That was arguably good. There was a shift.
You know, the Attitude Era is peak, and you're never going to get that peak for one simple reason. There's not going to be anything like it ever again. I mean, now this era is starting to come. The aggression era 2.0. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But, you know, with me, it's, Braun Breaker being injured. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. So apparently, I'm sure you've heard the report that Braun Breaker apparently is banged up. He's pretty banged up.
Yeah.
Of course, we could speculate some injuries. It seems like that's what they're implying. Now, but also within the same report, apparently it's not going to affect his in-ring.
You know, it could be something to do with that hernia that he pulled in February.
Possibly.
But again, you know, Braun Breaker, he's Impact.
Yeah.
He's all Impact. And I said this to you a couple of times that, you know, with the spear, you have arguably Edge, one of the best spears, because you had the psychological effort, you know, the hair pulling, the psychotic eyes, you know, the crazed look, and then he hits it. Braun Breaker, he runs through the ropes like a 95 miles an hour as fast as he can.
23 miles an hour is the gimmick. 23 miles an hour
is the gimmick. You know, realistically, he's only running 5.
About
5, maybe 10.
5 to 7 miles an hour. Yeah, maybe.
It's just Impact. With Braun Breaker, I feel, and I love Braun. I'm not knocking down Braun. I love Braun. But to me he's a Steiner. And Steiner was all about Impact.
Okay.
Literally and quite figuratively.
Okay.
He's this generation's Big Papa Pump, arguably.
He reminds me so much of Scotty.
So much. He looks like Scotty. All he's missing is the goatee.
Yeah.
You,
Was
you
that- was
got a
that
young
what-
Scott Steiner.
So after the Io Sky, so Io Sky goes over, by the way. So back to the King of the Ring.
Oh, my
Io
bad.
Sky she ends up going over. Honestly, my thought on this was duh.
Right.
Duh.
Duh. I mean,
Of course Io's gonna go. Yes.
Well, a lot of other people are thinking that she may not be. They might give it to Cargill.
Again?
Again, I think they might give it to Cargill.
I
I
think
think it's going to come down. I think it's going to come down to Io and Cargill.
Mom, no selling that one, brother. No selling that one.
I hate to say it. It's going to come
No
down
selling
to
that
Io and Jade Cargill, and I think Jade Cargill is going to be winning it.
Okay.
Look at the way they're building Jade right now, man. It's aiming towards it.
Losing to Rhea? That's what happened.
Hey, the King of the Ring gives her another shot.
Yeah,
The King of the Ring gives her another title shot.
If Cargill go, I don't want to know sell it because I don't want to go there yet. I don't want to go there yet. I don't want to.
I see the pain in your eyes. I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. What's our next segment? What do we have on?
All right, next segment is the best 90 seconds of LA Knight. Can we just say that?
So there's a backstage segment between. There's a backstage segment between Pierce and LA Knight. Now, if we look at the booking of LA Knight, a lot of people are going to go, okay, what's this guy doing? He's been backstage with the Usos recently, trying to talk to them. Hey, what are you doing with this bloodline thing? Are you serious? In the Usos' ear, right? And the Usos shut him down every time. Last week we saw him talking to Rollins, and this week we see him talking to Pierce backstage. Now, yeah, my first thought, they gave Knight 90s, give or take 90 seconds with this talking to Adam Pierce, our general manager backstage. Who, by the way, Adam Pierce is just sitting there like, he's dealing with the bloodline. And we know, obviously, Adam Pierce is not in favor of the bloodline frustrates him. Obviously, he's a babyface manager. He's frustrated. He needs a drink because the bloodline is causing him bold shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, but in comes LA Knight, everybody's favorite tweener, or not our babyface for now, over babyface, who, the anti-authority, if you will. Stone Cold-esque, which I know where we're going to go with this. It makes people think, you know what, LA Knight has a point. With that being said, my thought was, this was the best 90 seconds I've seen from LA Knight in a long damn time.
I 100% agree with you. Because he said, what was his words? He said, I'll pull you out of retirement just to put you back in. And if you saw Adam Pierce's face, man, he thought about it. Yeah. My prediction is we're going to see, I think LA Knight is going to be the man that puts Pierce right out of retirement. I'm hoping to God we see like the old kind of employee versus boss segment once again.
And the reason why I think Stone Cold Steve Austin was so relatable, just the character, not even the feud with McMahon,
just the character.
But the reason, who in the 90s,
who wouldn't want to stun their boss and put beer over his head and walk out?
What guy? What guy in the 1990s? What dad was not coming home from his dead-end job, sitting on the couch on a Monday night on Raw, 8 p.m. in 1998-97, kicks back, cracks open a beer, and who didn't want to be Stone Cold Steve Austin? What dad did not want to be him?
My father, but that's because he wasn't a wrestling fan.
Okay, fair point. But so with I see, yes, the comparison to LA Knight, the anti-authority against, but now unfortunately the interesting dynamic here is that Pierce is the babyface, and so is LA Knight. McMahon was heel, Austin was babyface. But this right here, this whole promo, he says, hey, you know what, dude? I see you with this bloodline. I see you bowing up to me and giving me energy that you don't give to Roman Reigns. And Pierce is like, whoa, dude, hold on a second. No. Yeah, I want the bloodline. I don't want the bloodline. And LA Knight just, oh, you're looking pretty oozy there, aren't you? Yeah, okay. And it's like,
you make me sick. And he walks off.
The best, LA Knight continues to garner good traction, great reactions, stays relevant, gets the biggest pops. This guy, in my mind, and dude, you've had something with Knight.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, man. I don't mean to interrupt you. But there's a lot of people, there's a side that are saying that they dropped the ball with LA Knight a while ago. And that may be true, and this is his way of trying to get back in that spotlight. Yeah, they had the ball with him a long time ago. Why didn't they make him champion while the kettle was cooking? Why didn't they? Point. They should have, and they didn't. And now I feel like it's a little too late. Yeah. Because he's in the mix. He's in the mix with Oba, the Bloodline feud, and everything else. Where's the room for him? Are you just going to throw him in with Fatu and Roman? It would make no sense at this point. It really wouldn't. And I hate to say it, man, as much as I love Eli Drake, a.k.a. LA Knight, I feel like that it might be a little too late for him to get on that rocket. I'm hoping that maybe with working with Adam Pearce and they get going something with him and Pearce, that will light it up. Sure, that'll light the match, but it's up to LA Knight to take the rocket.
Do I think they're actually going to go with him and Pearce and do something? No,
They should.
I don't.
They should.
I don't. They know they would be great.
They
I wouldn't be opposed
honestly
to it.
should. They honestly should. Because if they want LA Knight to have stardom like he did, and he should have had the title, before they dropped the ball. Because let's face facts, WWE drops the ball, and they have a bad habit of doing it at the wrong time.
Yeah, they do. They drop the ball all the time.
They dropped the ball at LA, and it puzzled me to this day as to why. Now they're trying to reignite that with this segment. Okay, you ignited something. Tease it more. Keep it coming. Keep him having backstage segments with Pearce. Keep it coming. Have that pole. Have that long pole. As soon as we get a grasp on that pole, I'm telling you, they can ignite a feud between the boss and the employee. It will be like Stone Cold going against McMahon again. And then when's the last time we've seen somebody who would go against their boss? When's the last time? Since the Authority, Daniel Bryan? And that was what?
That was good TV.
That was good TV. He's good for TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Give him TV time. Have him have segments. And eventually, let's have a match with LA Knight and Adam Pearce.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, I picked a good podcast partner because he's passionate. And you're right. You're 100% right.
It's just,
what do we have next on our what's our next segment to talk about? What happened next on Raw?
Raquel's possible turn
on
Liv Morgan. And let me tell you about Raquel. I'm so glad that she listened to Kevin Nash, and a friend of mine brought this up to me last night.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The best advice that Kevin Nash gave her was, "You're a big girl. Act like you're." He taught her how to work big. And listen, Kevin Nash, you can say he got big because of the political Triple H and the Clique, whatnot. But he was champion. He had his moments. I'm glad that she's listening to Kevin Nash. This is one of the times where I agree with Kevin Nash because I'm sorry, I love Kevin, Mr. Nash. If you ever watch this, your opinions are kind of sometimes it's true, and
but you got to pop. Can you pause this real quick?
Yeah,
pause this real quick.
Facts, and we're back. Sorry, folks. Like I said, this is the very first episode where I'm kind of new to this, although some of you, if you ever do watch, you'll probably recognize me from an old channel called Tunes Brothers, a.k.a. Rob Father's Realm now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for allowing me to step my foot in the waters of doing this. But back to the Raquel segment. Like I said, best piece of advice Kevin Nash ever gave her, and I'm glad that she took the advice because, oh my God, dude, her turning on the Judgment Day is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I know she's going to do it. We're going to see Morgan and her go at it for that title, and she deserves it.
Now,
she is the female Nash, bro.
Couple thoughts here. I've said this, I'm on record again. If you recognize this face or this name right here over on TikTok, I'm on record saying this for a long time. Raquel Rodriguez with the recent rivalry with Stephanie Baquet, she should have beat her for that championship. Now, Kevin Nash, he's not our Lord and Savior, but boy, and as a Kevin Nash, as a NWO fan, I don't agree with everything Kevin says. I don't think anybody else does either. However, he saw someone in Raquel Rodriguez, and by the way, props to Raquel. Because Raquel, we've seen a lot of modern day stars, when they hear from the quote old heads of yesterday, when they give them advice, there's been some examples out there, I'm sure people can pull from this, that when an old time wrestler gives a new modern day wrestler advice, that the new wrestler kind of, okay. Okay. How good and mature Raquel Rodriguez is to say, you know what? Okay, thank you.
Let me take a step back and listen.
Let me take a step back, and not only did she take a step back and think about it, she applied it, and now we're seeing it in the ring, and we're seeing it with her work. Now, little snippet here. I know you're a Morgan fan. I know the Liv Morgan army. They will come out of the woodwork to defend Liv Morgan. That fan base is crazy. Okay, and I'm not a Liv Morgan. In no means do I dislike Liv Morgan. Not my favorite, but I don't dislike her. When she got hurt, and I'm on record saying this again, when Liv Morgan was injured last year, it was a blessing in disguise for Raquel Rodriguez because, boy, the run that her and Roxanne went on, that chemistry.
Beautiful run.
Just. Now,
beautiful run.
Here's my third point. We see in the clubhouse again, another clubhouse segment after Roxanne loses her Queen of the Ring qualifying match. And in the same room, in the same clubhouse, we have two people, Raquel and Liv, who have their qualifying matches coming up. And Roxanne, the young prodigy, that little pouty face she does, as she's upset. It should have been my time. I'm the prodigy. I just should have been, I didn't get it. And in comes Liv Morgan. Just, we're going to win this, me and Dom, Queen and King. And Raquel's like, we have an angry sister here. You need,
Yep.
This interesting dynamic. You notice Raquel's face and you notice Roxanne's face. And, Liv Morgan being hysterical in the background with Dom and already thinking ahead of time. And she quickly corrects herself and goes, oh, hold on. It could be any of us.
She's afraid. She's afraid of losing that title, let's be honest, to either of them.
I'm sorry. I was on a recent live saying this, and I'm not mocking anybody, but this is how I think about it. You're telling me, and by the way, Liv Morgan being in this tournament already, that's a whole talking segment, but you're telling me that we chose Trouble, that's me, Cherry Lips, and Big Energy over.
It fits her, man.
But you're telling me that we chose that run. What I'm saying, you're telling me that we chose Liv to be world champion again over Raquel Rodriguez, the big bomby cool with the bandana and the sunglasses. Why is she not world heavyweight champion right now? She should be world heavyweight champion, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm
throwing my hands up on that one too, bro.
I've been screaming this for months. Anybody that sees this, tell me, are you screaming with me? Put the title on Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, do us a favor. Put it on her. She'll cook.
So within this segment, and by the way, I'm also screaming in the background. Don't sell this one. This is just for the atmosphere I'm seeing. Dominic Mysterio, count your days because El Grande Americano is going to beat you for that championship. But don't sell it.
Please.
So that's what your thoughts on this clubhouse segment?
I think it's time for the Judgment Day to disband, and Raquel gets her title.
Okay.
And then faces what's her other name? And faces Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And then later on faces
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Or something.
Which would be phenomenal.
So what was I think now we're moving on to the main event.
The main event.
I believe that's next.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so what is our main event is Seth Rollins versus
Braun
Breaker in a call-out match. Seth said, hey, you know what? In a promo, was it last week? He said, you know what, Braun, prove it. You think you're the best? Prove it. Next week in the main event on Monday Night Raw, and here we are.
But, Seth cheated, man.
Did he?
Come on.
Did he?
He grabbed the title. Or
is he just that good?
Come on, man. Come on.
Nah.
Come on. I love Seth, but come on. You've beaten Braun Breaker clean before, and he knows it. That wasn't a clean win, bro. I will, as a fan, I'm telling you right now, that's a clean win needed. That wasn't clean at all. That was
the
dirty.
Cleanest win I've ever seen in my life.
He's just like, this is the problem with Ethan Page impersonators. The ego starts to attach. And this is it, folks. This is it right here. No, bro. No. That was the most dirtiest win. I mean, he spears Seth and then hits his head on the title, probably giving him a concussion, knocks him out, and then he goes for the pin and win. It's great. It's phenomenal, but it's such a cheap win. Such a cheap win.
And of course, we both, let's just zoom out here for a second. We've got great workers. We've got two in-ring workers that we know can both work. We got a Braun Breaker who's bred for the business, and we got Seth. Obviously, this is a long story of betrayal. Obviously, the Vision, Seth trying to take down the Vision. It's kind of running the course, and of course, some people are like, not only are they cursed, and not by Danhausen, just naturally cursed because everybody's getting injured.
Love me that, Danhausen.
And number two, this is a match who we know, again, both workers can work great. So it's an entertaining main event. We know they can work good. But the question, and here's my note for this segment was, does this set the tone for the King of the Ring? Because Seth has a respective match and Braun has a respective match in their brackets. Does this main event, is there any telltale signs that they may, who's going to win their match? Now, we also have to take in the fact that, yes, apparently the rumor being that Braun's beat up or, he's banged up. How badly is he banged up, and could that affect him winning or losing his respective match? Because I think Seth may go on. Spoiler alert, I think Seth may win his match.
Seth is going to win the match. We're going to get...
So is there a telltale sign within this main event of who's going to win their match?
There might be. And I think it would be Seth.
Okay.
We're going to get, like I said, we're going to get Seth and Trick.
Because again, we could even argue, again, this is just a talking point. You got Braun Breaker busy as World Tag Team Champion, filling in for Logan Paul, who's hurt.
Yep, and As much as I will swallow this and say I hope that Logan Paul gets a speedy recovery because
Of course.
he's a phenomenal in-ring performer. I got to give it to him. He's a phenomenal in-ring performer.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of his brother, but I'm not a fan of Logan Paul either as a person, but as a wrestler, phenomenal talent, man. Phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I hope he gets a speedy recovery, and I hope we actually see him soon.
There's this the clip, and I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about, of Logan Paul training. I think it was for SummerSlam against LA Knight, and he does that little it's like a vlog series, and Logan's like, oh my god, I just invented or I did this moonsault, and he's doing it on the mat in training. It's like, and I think someone the theme behind this is like, Logan, someone's done this before.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't come up with this. But again, Logan, the way he does, yes, dude, I'm around the same age.
He's a phenomenal heel.
I'm around the same age as Logan. I will say, again, just for anybody out there, I'm humble enough to say, dude, if I was doing that, Scott, I would break my neck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Logan Paul, I'm not a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm not, I'm just, what I mean by not big fan, I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm just talking about the YouTubers. I'm not the modern day YouTube guys that came up. I don't care about that stuff.
Right.
Paul and great entrepreneurs, great businessmen. Those what the brothers are.
I don't want to knock him. I don't want to knock him. But again, he's a great heel. If you're a heel and you get me to hate you as much as I don't like Logan Paul as a heel, man, keep it going.
That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Keep me fed.
Yeah.
Keep me hating you. I mean, a phenomenal job as a heel.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah. So the match is good. It's a good main event for Raw. Seth ends up winning
uncleanly
in a very dirty way.
Yeah.
So
again, you can't. I'm sorry, I can't ignore the fact that he grabbed the title. He had the title in his hand. Yeah. Why did he have the title in his hand? That's what confused me. It's not his. It's Roman's.
Now, one thing that I think we did forget to discuss, again, now that that's the conclusion of Raw. One thing I do want to talk about really quickly, and this is going to be our final snippet of this episode. Again, thank you everybody who joined us.
Absolutely.
Is someone who Tom is a big fan of, and his name is Danhausen. Sir, your thoughts on the Knicks?
The face of the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite, Danhausen. Now, as a Danhausen fan, I've been watching Danhausen before AEW and before he got into the WWE, and he got me hooked. His character, I'm going to get a lot of bash from AEW fans, but here we go. Tony Khan did not know what to do with him. He was a WWE guy from the start. Everything about him screams WWE, the entertainment he does. He became the face of the Knicks, who was now winning, game after game after game since he's uncursed him.
Here's my thought with this segment. I mean, of course we've seen the Knicks stuff and the Stephen A. Smith and the Danhausen being embedded or incorporated into the sports world and whatnot, right? It's kind of the guy right now. Every time I see this Knicks thing and how big he's got, how much traction this has got, it's spilled outside of professional wrestling, right? It's kind of spilled out. I think to myself, dude, what a career resurgence, if you will. Because if you think about it now, I think many of you out there will go, what do you mean, career resurgence? What are you talking about? In AEW, it was to the point where we did not see Danhausen for a long time. And though, when it comes to Tony Khan and contracts, to the point where people online were saying, dude, just release the guy for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And then he comes to WWE, and I'm on record saying this. I think I did a video on my page on TikTok. I said, you know what, dude? Why is Tony Khan not letting the guy go? He's going to be a great fit for the WWE. And boy, what a career. Dude, the guy's the face of the Knicks, for God's sakes. Like, come on. So, yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm like, the guy, I mean, having interactions with Ethan Page, having interactions with Stephen A. Smith, having interactions with cursing Kit Wilson, which, by the way, I don't like that. Cursing people left and right. And I appreciate the Knicks leaning into the curse of Danhausen. I appreciate them doing this because it keeps Danhausen relevant. But Danhausen's a good talent. Now, again,
phenomenal talent.
Again, how ridiculous is this? Someone please explain this. Explain this to a non-wrestling fan that this Poindexter in a cape is the face of the Knicks.
Right now. I can do that for you right now.
And I'm not knocking Danhausen. I'm not.
Entertaining, mad scientist, Nosferatu, kid-like quality, and he is such a trickster, man. Yeah. He caused an entire power outage on SmackDown for an experiment.
That was kind of corny. I didn't really like that.
Listen, you can call it for what it is. But what is wrestling without the corniness? You have to have the corniness sometimes.
Hey, let me just preface this, okay? For anybody out there watching, and as we keep going in podcast, you'll hear me talk about this. There's room for absurdity in wrestling, of course. There is. Joe Hendry is the concerts. I mean, this guy turning around is absurd. I mean, the Shockmaster, that was
Santino's Cobra, bro. Come on.
Yeah, so I'm not knocking, again, Danhausen because it's absurd. I'm not like, oh my God, I hate this guy. I don't. I enjoy him. But again, I'm just like, the scientist thing, I'm like,
But that's who Danhausen is. That's his character.
But
very
yes,
mysterious, very good, very evil.
Okay, fair.
He's very good, very evil.
Okay, fair.
No, what is it?
Very nice, very evil.
Very nice, very evil. So he's gonna have that corny segments. I mean, did I like the way the WWE debuted him? No. There was no build up for it, and they kind of gave it away.
But yeah, I mean, this echoed online where when he debuted, the echo online was boo.
Boo.
And,
but then the next night he shows up, they're loving him because people had to do their research on him. Yeah. Remember, he was in AEW for the longest time.
Yeah.
AEW, they're starting to get good. In fact, they're starting to pull me back in a little bit. And I don't know if you watch AEW. I don't know if you do or you're not, kind of. But
not against it, but I watch more WWE. I do.
They have a future. They do.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
Honest to God, a little competition wouldn't hurt the WWE right now. It really wouldn't, because the best thing that ever happened to the WWF or the WWE now was Monday Night Nitro.
I mean, if you go all the way back to, again, and this is what people, maybe the first big McMahon controversy thing was back in the early 80s when McMahon pulled the territories in. If you remember the Black Saturday event and incident, it was Vince and Ole Anderson who was running the territories back then, and he pulls from Ole Anderson. It was a big controversy, but people at the end of the day kind of went, okay, McMahon is monopolizing here in a way, or he did, by taking the territories. But it did make other places, again, I mean, when you come up, fast forward to WCW, yeah, they started competing with the WWF, and it made for good TV on both ends.
And you know what? I hate to say it, but it wouldn't hurt to see AEW become big and then possibly give them some. I mean, it'll probably never happen.
I think AEW is already big.
I mean, it is. For what it is, it is. It is big. But it's not, because let's face it, the WWE is the Disney of wrestling. They're the company you want to go to. They're the wrestling company, and they've always been. Yeah. They've always been.
They're the main machine.
They're the main machine. But what if you have AEW become a big machine, and bigger? Because their future is set, man. Their future
That's a whole podcast, brother. That's a whole podcast.
Like I said, guys, we have so much to discuss, and this is just episode 1, so bear with me. I'm sorry.
And with that being said, on episode 1, sir, are you satisfied with this episode?
I don't know. Are you?
I think at the hour and 12-minute mark, brother, I think we had a good first episode. So
I think so.
With that being said,
I don't think y'all need us to tell you what to do. The like and subscribe. You already know what to do, guys.
And so, man, this is, again, only episode 1. Thank you for joining us, anybody who sees this. If we get no viewers or not even one comment on this episode.
We don't care. We're going to keep doing this. At least I will to the day I die. I do not care.
And we want you to join us. And we appreciate all the support that we get. And again, At the end of the day, me and the guy in the panel next to me, this is just a project because we love pro wrestling, and we hope you do too.
And, this is, I want to do this not just for us.
Yeah.
Harrison, but I want to do this for the wrestling fans to have another podcast to listen to.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I don't personally, for me, I don't care if we don't.
Your clicking pen tells me you love this.
I don't care if we get no views. We're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue to put up videos and content. And you know what? It's been a great episode.
Yeah.
I got to get my happy behind to work.
Yep.
And I'm sure you have to do some things yourself. So with this. You guys already know what to do. Like and subscribe, whatnot. And thank you for joining our show.
And this has been Wrestling with Marks, the Tom and Harrison podcast. We will see you for episode 2, the review for NXT.
All right.
So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you later.
See you later.